folks, this is Joel583, and today we'll be looking at Transformers Construct Bots Megatron. So here on the box we just have Megatron in his robot mode and his tank mode. As you can already see, apparently the transformation is different only in that the tank mode is backwards. Interesting. 55 pieces, ages 6 and up. And on the back we have the Construct, Customize, and Convert, as well as the usual exploded map of parts. And here we have Megatron opened up and assembled into his robot mode. Now first off, I gotta say, this guy has a lot of purple, and quite a bit of it is translucent purple. Not complaining, that's for sure. I mean, Megatron's just one of those villains who really pulls off purple. Makes it look dangerous. Yeah, basically just has, well, armored wheels. For one, that's definitely something new. Also, the hubcaps for the wheels are different than, well, what was on Ironhide that I reviewed a while back. The hubcaps are kind of like big red shurikens. And I like that. Basically, everything about this guy just looks dangerous. Even his giant black shoulder pads of spikes. It looks good. Even his face is kind of creeping me out. He has the Joker smile, where he is just grinning to beat the band. Like he's going to do something evil and he is going to enjoy it. Yeah, amongst the purple, you also have a lot of black. You have a bit of red on the wheels and on his chest. And of course, mostly gray armor all over him. And some silver wheels. His back is pretty much unarmored, but that is pretty common, and especially with the arms, there's not much you can do that isn't just going to get in the way later on. The only thing that really sticks out on him is the cannon on his back. And that thing really sticks out. Like, I can't get the figure and the cannon into the same shot at once. The thing is just really high up on his back there. And it does fire, but I'm going to demonstrate that when he gets into vehicle mode. But before then, let's talk about weapons. All he gets is these two swords. Two big red swords. And they have two handles. One to hold up and one to just kind of hold at the side for some reason. And he does hold them pretty well, of course. And if you remember my video on Legion class Megatron, the really small green tank, you might remember my short rant about there not being a cannon on his arm. The cannon was on his side of his head rather than his arm. And you could say that you make the same argument here. But the thing about Construct Bots is, anything that has a peg can fit anywhere there's a port. So you can have the cannon mounted on his wrist in robot mode if you want to. Now you could put it on the top of this armor piece right here, but I prefer the wrist because you can just have it resting like that. Now if Megatron had some bicep rotation, yeah, I'd definitely put it on there. But since it doesn't, you basically have the bicep cannon, which does take away from the posability in that arm, and you can't really rest it. Because the arm that it's plugged into is, well, because the hand of the arm that's plugged into it is basically blocked and unusable. Basically, if you want to try and punch someone, the barrel of the cannon is just going to hit the person in the face. It just doesn't look as nice to me. But that's just my own personal preference. And here we have Megatron in his vehicle mode. Now, as you undoubtedly noticed, I didn't show the transformation this time. That's because I've already done this transformation 4 times. If you want to know how he's transformed, just go back to any of the previous Construct Bots, except for Hound, and look him up there. It is literally just the same thing. Like I said before, the only difference is which way he's facing. So, again, here we have him in his tank mode. And it looks more like an armored Jeep, but that's understandable. It'd probably be very, very difficult to get treads on this thing. So, we're still going to call it a tank. As you can probably guess, the turret does move, because it's just on a peg. I see this piece of purple plastic. That is the back end of the missile. So you simply thumb under there, push and fire. It's a flick fire missile, but it's a little weak to me. Like it takes too much force to actually get it out, that a lot of it's just wasted by the time it actually gets out. So it's a little weak. Not worthy of the great Decepticon leader. As for the swords, again, you can place them anywhere there's a port and anywhere there's a peg, thanks to these little holes here. Honestly, I think the best places to stick it would probably be on this tank. And there are 4 good places to put it. Technically 5, but well, that'd only be enough room for 1. So you can stick them on like this, or like this. Now, that's just my preferred way of placing them. Simply because, well, that's going to be his backpack in robot mode. So it's just a convenient place to store them. So it's just like swords mounted on his back. But I do kind of prefer to have them like this. Again, that's a personal preference. But when it comes to construct bots, I like being able to store the weapons where they won't get in the way and can stay there in either vehicle mode or robot mode. Now along the back here is just a nice little translucent purple slope. It looks pretty nice. These extra shoulder panels here. Now the directions say to keep them up like this, but I think it looks a little bit better to fold them down so they look more like they're guarding the back wheels. Honestly, there's really not much else I can say about all this. It's just a pretty decent tank mode. And that is Transformers Construct Bots Megatron. Now this set normally goes for about $20, but I was able to get them on sale for $13 at Toys R Us. And I gotta say, probably at either price, I would actually recommend them. At his regular price, he's pretty good. Lower price, pretty great. Basically, he's just a very good, Megatron. And a fitting one for this series. Now, if I remember correctly, back in the first wave of Construct Bots, there was a dual pack of Optimus and Megatron. And that Megatron didn't have all of this translucent purple. He was, gray and purple, much like his original G1 design. There was just a lot more gray on him than there is in this. This was not a part of the dual pack. This was Megatron by himself. And I'm guessing there was a version of Optimus that was also by himself. And if you got the same treatment Megatron did, there's probably a lot of translucent red and blue on that guy. I guess the original one is like just regular Megatron. And this is, Dark Energon Megatron. And it is a pretty good set. There's just not much I can say about them. There's a lot of good parts on them, but they're basically just extra armor bits. So build-wise, it doesn't do much to really set them apart. Seriously, with these versions of Construct Bots, it is basically just pick the one you like best, basically for design and character. If you want to go for transformation, if you want to get something that looks more unique or more at the core, this way of Construct Bots, there's really no big difference. Now I understand this is probably the first time that Hasbro has done something like this, and the whole concept probably didn't give them much to work with at first. And like I said in the Hound review last week, it looks like the Dinobots that have come up are apparently the improved line. Those might be what Hasbro was originally going for Construct Bots. But of course, that depends solely on the ones that turn into vehicles and not dinosaurs. So we might get to see how those work out. I've seen a few other vehicles, mainly Optimus Prime Construct Bots, and they have like Dinobot armor. Like it comes with a little Dinobot that you turn into armor for these. I'm not sure how that I didn't really get too good a look on those, so if the transformation is at least different than what we've originally had, then that could be a very good thing for this line. And I actually do hope that good things come from this line. So when I say pick them up, if you can afford them at regular price, yeah, I'd say pick them up. If you can find them on sale, definitely pick them up. So, alright, thank you folks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.